So I'm in Dollarama. I'm picking up some gloves and toques for outflow because they need them. Also picking up some painting supplies. So I've got a roller, a couple of trays. Yeah, so getting stuff ready. I come to Dollarama a lot to buy stuff like this, to buy paintbrushes. I'm going to tell you something right now. This paintbrush over here, if you need a paintbrush, these ones right here, the two $75 paintbrushes, they're amazing. They got a wooden handle and they've got nice bristles and they're really good for painting whatever. Why would you buy your painting supplies at Dollarama? Well, this is what I discovered. Where you find something does not determine their value, basically only the cost. I could buy the same thing at Home Depot or Kent's or anywhere else, and it would cost me maybe 2-3 times as much. But at the end of the day, the value is still the same. Why? Because I can use them the same way. I can do the same thing. I can paint, I can cut, I can roll, I can buy gloves and mittens and all these different things for a lot less money. But the value is the same, and I was thinking about that, about value and how we place value. And a lot of times we place a value on something not based on what it is, but where it comes from. A lot of times we base our values of ourselves on where we've come from. Do I come from a good family, or do I have the right education, or whatever pedigree you want to put onto it? And then we say, well, if I haven't come from this place, well, I don't have the same value. If I don't have the same education, a lot of times people will say to me, well, Tim, I can't do what you do because I don't have the same education you do. And it's like, well, no, you don't. But your value to the kingdom of God is not based on what kind of education you have. It's based on how willing you are to be obedient to what you are and who God has made you to be. See, our value is based on who God has made us to be, not where He placed us to be found by others who need us. By a job that needs to be done. God says, I've equipped you, I've made you. And this is the fascinating part. When Jesus was born, He was born in a stable. He was laid in a manger. And it's like, talk about humble beginnings. He was basically born and placed in a place where animals drool. I mean, that's kind of gross. That's where He began. Was His value based on where He came from? Was His value based on His upbringing, whether His dad was a king or His dad was a carpenter? It didn't make any difference. God said, this is who I am. This is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased. It had absolutely nothing to do with His upbringing. So I want to tell you this right now. If you're thinking about, man, can I serve God? Can I do what I think God is calling me to do, what my passion is to serve God? It's like, yeah, you can. Do you know why? Because if God's called you to it, He's equipped you to do it. And it's got nothing to do with where you've come from. It's got everything to do with who God is and what He's put in you. So anyways, I've got to find where I laid that stuff. Over here. I'm going to go pick it up. I'm going to pay a lot less for some good stuff. Remember, we are getting gloves and hats for outflow, so I want to remind you to be doing that. And you know what? Be serving God. Wherever He's called you, wherever from, and whatever He's calling you to. Remember, that's where God's brought you from. And I don't know where God is taking you to. But it's exciting to know that no matter how other people see us, God sees us as valuable because He's the one who's made us. Anyways, hope that's been encouragement to you. Love you guys. Have a great evening. God bless you.